Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Hip Hop Babies.
Yes, sirski.
Y'all know what it is, man. It's your host, DeadLeigh. I got my boy Ray with me, as always.
We are back.
Man, we got to review this Marciology album from Roc Marciano. You already know, man. We locked in.
Long time coming, right? Did we review the Elephant Bones? If we did, it was like,
missed it too.
That's so far back.
You know, just for some context, this man's been rapping longer than I've been alive, so.
He was in a crew, making music and stuff, and with a bunch of talented artists, right? And he was doing verses and popping up on people's albums, working with legends. And especially back in the day when people were coming up, you know, he was doing certain stuff with them. And he built his own fan base online with Mark Berg, which he produced and, you know, rapped his ass off on. Really talented, and he's continued to do so ever since. Dropping really dope projects, either producing for someone like Stove God Cooks. That's the one that people talk about a lot. But he's done stuff with other people that's really dope as well. And he dropped some... If you want to say internet classics, I just say downright really good projects. Like, I really started listening to him with Marci Bacoup. It really started cranking up with Rosebud's Revenge, especially the first one. I was really into that project when that dropped. And I went back and checked out Reloaded and all that. And I'm like, man.
What was something that was like grabbing your attention, like first thing, like when you was listening to Rosebud's? Like, what's the thing that like pops out?
The wordplay and the ad-libs. He's one of the best technical MCs, I think, in the game. As far as rapping ability, knowing how to deliver over any type of production. Especially because he's the producer himself, right? He knows how to find good pockets, especially when he makes the beats himself. I think what really stood out to me was that he sounded so comfortable in his own sound. Like the drumless production, he's really known for that. He really was a big pusher of that wave. He's been doing that for years. That's like his thing. And it's dope to see like now. That's why this whole like Marciology, it says on the cover like occult and all this stuff, because he's developed a hardcore devoted fan base. When he drops, I'm always checking it out. I'm always trying to be like, yo, check it out, you know, because I know it's going to be a really dope project.
That part where you're talking about he can rap on anything comes through within the first second listening to the album. You just like put on Marciology, the title track, thrown into the ringer immediately with that crazy ass beat that we got going on. It's so eerie. Set the tone for sure, man. It's just like getting into that cutthroat mindset on pretty much every track because he does his own production with the overall sound of it, with the delivery, the flow, all that. So, you know, he's got it. Cook a brick in the air fryer, man. Don't be surprised.
The first two tracks, Gold Crossbow was a single. I was slapping it, and it luckily, I think for me, you know, I heard about that single and I listened to it because it took some time for the first part. It was dark. I'm not saying I didn't like it, but I was like, okay, it took me a while to adjust. And then when you get into the middle to the second part, it just flows. Like, it's seamless. He knows how to do the funny little interludes. He knows how to let the track segue into the other, and it'll be about something completely different. But the sound of this album is consistent. The samples always are like either smooth. It's a dope sample, and he loops it while he's rapping, and it's like, how are you finding this pocket? And he almost makes the sample sometimes a part of the verse depending on what he's talking about. It's crazy. Yeah. He's really great at that.
Finding those flow pockets, I mean, he just be saying like the most outrageous shit. And I think that's kind of how he gets away with doing these flow pockets, because in my head it like seems simpler than it is, but like, you know, just changing up like the syllables of the words and like doing different shit. Like, proud of ostracized, I was ostracized, hiding from the five on the blockers, but I'm not cockeyed. Cop spy with the robins in the skies, my face on live on Fox 5. It's safe to say come on, man. Like, what are you doing here, bro?
It's off rhymes, it's slant rhymes. Some of it is just, he says some like the similar sound at the end for like a whole verse, and it starts to all blend together. He's really good as far as the technical ability, as far as like the way he flows. He keeps going. One example is Bebe's Kids, which is a dope track. Bebe's Kids, he's an older guy. Bebe's Kids, those were some badass kids. I love the beat on this one. It's a groovy beat, and the lines that stuck to me: never sprung for a BBL, trailer load of hoes, your boy need a CDL, on the DL, CUGEL, nigga weak as hell, jelly, funny with the ad-lib, couldn't even get a piece of tail in a female jail. Like, I mean, you could say like, oh, he's not saying anything super profound. Roc Marciano, he can do that, and I think he also knows how to just talk about hustling. And that's why I love that he got Larry June on here, but he's talking shit and he says out-of-pocket shit sometimes that's funny. But he's sometimes being serious and he's just giving you game. Went Diamond is a big example of that. It was a highlight for me. Just him talk about how he made so much with his wrist, he already went diamond. The way he finds ways to rap about some of these things, and You gotta think he's been doing it for a while, but he always makes it sound fresh. It's top tier to me. That's why I'm always tuned in.
For sure, man. I mean, and just like the variety of the samples and the beats and the loop and doing it drumless or, adding a little bit of drums in there, it's always keeping it fresh, man. And I think that just when you rhyme like he does, I think it's going to remain fresh regardless of what you're doing. If you're going to say like, you're not really saying nothing, I would say that you're not really listening. No, the themes are there, even though the word to word doesn't seem like it makes too much sense. You can't necessarily break down everything like that. It's poetry. Sometimes just like listening to like how he's rhyming words together, it's just like he's really rapping. You just gotta take your hat off.
He's a rapper's rapper. When it comes to working with the right people, building a respectable brand, he's kind of helped lead the way as far as rap goes in that. Dropping projects on the internet and connecting with people. Like he's one of those artists kind of like my Kami too, where he'll drop a project only on his website or it'll be on selected places so he can make a profit or, people will buy his project before you start streaming it. I think this one wasn't like that. He dropped it, the same time, and that's dope as well because I love when everyone can hear the music, everyone can talk about it for a second. And it's not only for selected people who go and buy it through a certain site. But I understand why artists like him do that because what he's doing is one of one is unique. Not a lot of people are in his lane, and he's been in it, and he's part of the reason why that lane's there. So if you want to listen to his music, especially in a timely manner, right, you might have to pay a premium for it. And I got to respect that because I'm getting my money's worth, especially streaming. I'm getting songs that I know will probably last me throughout this year. Dope features. Crime Apple, we were talking about him. Jay Worthy, we've talked about him before. They brought their A game. And I think they knew they had to bring their A game because if you're popping up on a Roc Marciano project, people are going to pay attention, especially like underground people who are really tapped into hip hop. They're going to be like, let me see what this dude talking about.
I want to get back to what you were saying for a second with talking about how, he drops his music beforehand, makes people pay a premium for it. And I just want to say that anybody who has a problem with artists dropping their stuff on a premium, like Ray had just said, you are getting a bargain on the music with streaming. These artists are getting paid dirt. Any of the money that you feel like you are paying for the music is going directly to the company. If the artist is still dropping these albums on streaming for you to be available, by the way, it's not even hard to get it on streaming by downloading it to your phone off the internet, off Bandcamp. Like, it's not hard to do that. It's just like an extra step. If an artist wants to charge for their physicals, bro, let them charge for their physicals, man. Like, the only way that people can make money. It's a fucking business model, man. I've never seen a more fucking entitled generation than what we have right now.
If you rush an artist or make them work and knowing that they're maybe not going to get the most out of it because of the cost and the time and stuff, that's when it starts to become a problem. I think someone like Roc Marciano, who has respect, has put in the time, he's able to maneuver how he wants and make music how he wants. I feel like if you're tapped into this music at this point, you might, know people who listen to hip hop or you're really into the hip hop realm and are like, let me check this out because it's one of those things where you got to look for it. And when you do, you find songs like Tapeworm. Crazy. It's basically saying your taste is trash. I've come up. You affected. You eating bad food. You living a bad life. I'm out here eating medium rare steaks now. You should try this. It got some blood in it. It's cool. You got to clean your palate first, though. You ain't like me. He does it in a way that's funny. He's joking, especially with the ad-libs. Like, if you listen to the track, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is one of the reasons why I love listening to rap music, because you have a rapper like this who's older, who is making music, and he's appealing to a lot of different age groups, he's appealing to a lot of different demographics because the music's so good, bro. I think there's some tracks on here that aren't as good as others sometimes, but it wasn't too long, and the tracks that I don't like as much as the ones I really like aren't bad. It's just some of them were more enjoyable to listen to more time.
Well, I mean, that's just how it is, man. You got like music that's like trying to get you into a groove. You're going to be attracted to a different groove than other ones, and that's just kind of how it happens. It's just like some dope rapping, and you don't even really need to listen to what he's saying to like catch the vibe.
You should though, because you're gonna get a lot.
You should.
And here's
but you should. But like, you're not gonna pick it up like on first listen.
Yeah, it might be confusing,
especially if you're not like really like tapped in to rap. I mean, I'm talking to all our subscribers out there that just watch us for us, man. But I gotta include y'all too somehow. So y'all can listen to this, and I feel like y'all can vibe to this, even if you aren't really a huge rap fan. Just like finding those grooves, those like sample flips, the loops that he be doing, they fire, man. And he's funny. He talks shit on here, a little dry humor, but you know, the funniest nigga, you know, he dead serious. He ain't even joking. That's kind of the vibes that Roc Marciano be giving me, man. So, and like you said, he be working with legends. I mean, shit. I loved his last album, Elephant Man Bones, with The Alchemist. That was Zigzag, probably my favorite on there. But I never really listened to him before that. When I listened to that album, it wasn't like anything that was like social media, nothing. It was strictly the music, and I just kind of gravitated towards it. So one of those kind of artists. Just, you hear it and you like, you gotta respect it. You gotta add that to the playlist. So
Yeah, he uses a lot of slang, a lot of terms that are associated with like street activity. He talks about pimping. He's not afraid to be offensive sometimes. He'll say stuff that's like out of pocket, especially if you're one of those PC people that don't like certain things to be referenced or said. Like I said, he's an older guy, so he's not going to change his vernacular or change what he talks about to make you more comfortable. Boldy gives me that vibe too, where it's like it's strictly for the streets or it's strictly for who wants to listen to this. If you get offended or he says something that's kind of like too much for you, don't listen. I don't really have that problem with Roc. He's playful enough. It's almost like, you know, a character or talking about old stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when he has a quotable like on a Killing Spree again, it is what it is. When you MC light, then you're paper thin. Bad. Thin like a vape pen, slim as an inmate's chance to escape the pin. The triggers on the hammers is hairpin. The rhyming on this is top tier, and I know a lot of people, you know, listen to music just to have fun or listen to it just to, you know, get a vibe. I do think if you listen to the lyrics, you will be rewarded because the wordplay and the lyrics on here are crazy. Maybe do some research, read the lyrics. Even me as a fan, you know, you don't hear everything or you're like, kind of like, what does that mean? Or you're kind of like, he raps in a way that's kind of like, let me read it and see how that really makes sense or like, you know, see what he's really saying. And it's worth it. You're going to get something out of it, I think.
I definitely wasn't saying like don't listen to lyrics. I mean, if you like rap music, you gonna be listening for the lyrics. He hitting rhyme schemes. I didn't even know you could do rap like that. Roc, you got it, man. A lot of this self-produced, highly impressive. Even if you don't really dig the production style, I mean, you gotta respect it. Anytime somebody doing their own visuals or, you know, production, it just shows true artistry in a way.
And the other producers on here did a great job because Roc Marciano is such a talented producer himself. He works with other talented producers and knows how to get them to make the beats he wants and that fit him perfectly, even though his style is a little different, you know what I'm saying? And especially because, you know, he's underground, he can work with pretty much probably any underground producer. Like he has The Alchemist make a whole project with him. This is an easy recommendation. Give it multiple listens. I wouldn't just listen to it once or twice because even as a fan, it takes me a while to warm up sometimes, especially with, you know, we just got out of the most mainstream rap beef ever. And we get constant bombardment of popcorn filler music that's not like this. So especially if you don't listen to stuff like this, give your ears time to be accustomed to the style, the punchlines, the way it comes off. That sample on True Love was crazy. The oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Top tier.
Oh yeah.
That was tight.
All right, man. Well, I got top 3 tracks. So it's going to be easy, man. Going to have to be On the Run for one with Jay Worthy. You know, that was fire. It was fire link up. Bad Juju with Larry June. That shit crazy. Way that Larry comes in on there with the doo-doo, na, 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 and he's just talking about sitting in the living room on a couch that costs more than your car.
There's 2 houses in the Bay just chilling.
One for staycation, you know. He crazy, man. So big shout out getting him on this album. That shit was dope as fuck. My final pick is going to be Bebe's Kids. I just thought that he had some of the best rapping, best flows on the album, on that track in particular. So
it was crazy. That was a rapping highlight. That's why I had a quotable off that one. That was crazy.
What about you, man? What you got?
My first one is Bad Juju. I had to pick it. Larry June impressed me, as he's been doing recently. Dope combo. Number 2, Tapeworm. So right after, that middle part right there really had me like going crazy. Right when it gets to the second half, Tapeworm was dope. I love that beat. I love the playfulness. Just talking about how, you know, people's appetites around him haven't caught up because he's so far ahead now. And then my third one, Went Diamond, was crazy to me. I love that playfulness on the track.
In the middle of the album, bro. Had you in a chokehold.
It did. And the ending was dope too. We didn't talk about what Flocks and Larry Bird. Larry Bird was nuts. We didn't even talk about that one hella bit. And Larry Bird was crazy.
Piano breakdown on Flocks when it just enters and just yeah, bro. He sound like supervillain on some of these tracks.
Some of this, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like a character, bro. It's like the voice, the gravelly, rough, gravelly voice, and the ad-libs, and just the confidence that he says it. Some of the mean shit he says is top tier. Yeah, this might be in my top 10.
So, potentially.
Yeah, you know me. I love my old head raps. I love my rap that helps remind me of why I love listen to rap music, and this is one of those projects. Just because it brings me back to the roots, and it's also new in a way.
Dope project. I appreciate Roc for giving us this project, man. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all go stream this. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, share the video, repost us. You know, we have Instagram, we got Twitter. It's linked right here on my screen.
TikTok,
wherever it is. We got Patreon. It's all in the link tree. Yeah, thank y'all so much for checking out this video. Really want to get back into some of the underground stuff. Like Ray was saying earlier, we was doing a lot of mainstream coverage, but you know, on this channel we like to dig deep. We like to go into some stuff that, you know, you might not have heard before. So this is good music, man. You know, we're not recommending trash. Fire only. Bangers.
Thank y'all for watching. Yeah, shout out to Roc Marciano for this project. Keep dropping. I'm gonna keep tapping in as long as you keep doing it, because I'm a fan and I appreciate the music you make. Not a lot of people are doing it. If they are, they're not doing it like you do it. It's noticeable, and I think that and people will always fuck with you. If you're listening and you want to send us your music, chop it up with us. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, like something we might have missed, an album we missed, or an album that's coming out soon that you'd be like, oh, check this out, maybe talk about it. Don't be afraid to comment it. With that being said, peace.
Peace.